What's up, everybody? There's a lot of people out there that want you to think that you're not smart enough to invest, that the stock market's a gamble, and all of that nonsense. None of that is true, and I'm here today to show you another stock that over the last 20 years has turned a $10,000 investment into over $1 million. This obviously doesn't happen with every investment, and it is rare, but it's possible to find these investments, and that's what I talk about on this channel, is how to identify market-beating stocks and my methodology for investing that I think will work out well over the long term. As you can see, this is my portfolio. I share it in every single video. Look back a few videos on the channel. I do full portfolio reviews. This is just to show you that I do share my portfolio and my results, $118,000. We were down $14,700 overall, and we started this portfolio on February 16th, 2022. I'll do a full review every Friday, so just subscribe if you want to see that. I do not own the stock, either stock that I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about Costco, and I'm going to talk about Tractor Supply Co. That's the company that has beat Costco in basically every metric over the last 10, 20 years, including significantly outperforming as a stock. Probably a lot of people have not heard of Tractor Supply Co. So basically they just sell all kinds of stuff to people in rural areas, really, that is oriented around active living, around farms, around pets, and around animals, right? If you just check their website out, they've got pets, poultry and livestock, sporting goods, farm and ranch, heating, outdoor living, outdoor power. So their competitors are people like Lowe's and even Ace Hardware and these other, regional or national level home improvement and equipment sellers. Now let's just get to it, right? We are looking at fast graphs, and we're looking at the last 20 years of performance of Tractor Supply Co. And this is just incredible. And this is why I like to invest in individual stocks, and I like to find winners. I think that dividend growth investing is the best style of dividend investing that there is. Just look at how dividend growth stocks can work out over time. Since 2002, a $10,000 investment into Tractor Supply Co. has paid you $64,000 in total dividends. They've only been paying a dividend since 2010, but the total growth, which includes dividends reinvested plus the increase of share price, has been $1,137,000. So that's $10,000 to $1.1 million in 20 years, and that is a 25% compound annual growth rate. If we want to look at Costco over the same time period, a $10,000 investment since 2002 has paid $20,000 in dividends and total growth of $205,000. Still fantastic, amazing returns, but that's a 16% compound annual growth rate. And you see the difference there between 16 and 25%. Both phenomenal, but you could see the massive, massive difference between 25% and 16%. Now, how do you achieve these returns? Finding great companies and holding them for 20 years. There's no get rich quick overnight crap in real investing. If you had bought shares in 2002 for $10,000, you would have 4,418 shares in 2010. And when that dividend started, because of how many shares you owned and the price that you bought them at, you would have gotten a 6% yield on cost, even though the dividend was much, much lower than 6% of the actual share price. And so that would have paid you $615 in dividends in 2010. Now, if you continue to reinvest those and didn't add any more shares of your own, but reinvested dividends, then by 2021, you would have had, just through dividends reinvested, you would have had 4,987 shares. In 2021 alone, you would have been paid $10,300 in dividends because they have increased that dividend per share every single year. And so you are now getting more in dividends every year than you paid for your initial $10,000 investment for all of the shares. That is the incredible thing about dividend growth companies. Okay, and Costco, same deal. They started paying their dividend in 2004. So you would have made $57 in dividends on your initial $10,000 investment. But if you just if you had just left it, continuously reinvested your dividends, then in 2021, you would have gotten paid $5,199 in dividends, which is just fantastic. And so still fantastic return from Costco. They haven't grown the dividend quite as fast. And let's get to which one I think is a better buy right now. And we'll talk a little bit about how Tractor Supply has outperformed Costco so much. So looking at this graph from 2002 to 2022, right? And what we can see is that back in 2002, they had 24 cents in earnings per share. and they had a PE. The share price was $4.89, and they had a PE of 20.62. They have grown their earnings over this time period on average each year at about 21% per year. And now the blended price to earnings growth is 23.5. You've gotten a little bit of appreciation in PE from 20 to 23.5, but where most of this return has come from is from that average earnings growth of about 21% per year. And now let's look at Costco. And this is in 2003. They had $1.53 in earnings per share. They had a price to earnings multiple of 21. And fast forward to today, it's trading at a price to earnings multiple of 36, which is kind of insane, with $13.14 in earnings per share. And you can see this is the big difference here, right? Earnings growth rate has grown at 11% per year for Costco versus that 20 or 21% for Tractor Supply Co. That's where that outperformance has come. And what's crazy is that Costco has actually multiple expansion, price earnings multiple expansion from 21 to 36. And so even with that, the earnings growth just hasn't been strong enough or as strong as Tractor Supply to make up for that difference in performance, which is why Tractor Supply has so strongly outperformed Costco. Moving forward, the risk with Costco, you can see this blue line is the average PE that it's traded at. Costco is looking significantly overvalued compared to where it's historically traded, which this right here is a PE of 26, which is like still pretty high for a company the size of Costco and with the growth of Costco. Now, what Costco gets is a lot of benefit from that recurring membership revenue model that people love. If we bring it to the last 10 years, it is trading a little closer to its average PE. Its average PE has been 31, so still trading about 20% higher than that. In my opinion, right now, just looking at these graphs, Tractor Supply Co. looks like the much more interesting company if I were to own either of them. But just looking at this, looks like Tractor Supply Co. is slightly overvalued, but I'd be willing to probably buy a stock here, at this much overvaluation based on historicals with the growth that's ahead for Tractor Supply if I really wanted to buy the company. Whereas Costco, I see no reason. I'm not interested at all in buying shares in Costco because I just think it's way too overvalued. And then let's just compare the companies, right? Costco, $218 billion market cap. Tractor Supply Co., $24 billion. So just right there, like there's a lot of potential more growth ahead for Tractor Supply, you would think, than Costco. Okay, you can see Costco is 19% under its 52-week high. Tractor Supply Co. is 6% under its 52-week high. Costco is 21% above its 52-week low, and Tractor Supply is 35% above. You can see Tractor Supply has outperformed Costco in every time frame here except for the 10-year, where Costco outperforms just a little bit. But if we extend that to 20 years, we saw the outperformance. Dividends, Costco pays 0.73% looking forward. Tractor Supply is at 1.6%. Its payout ratio is a little bit higher than Costco, but look at this dividend growth. Over the last 3 years, Tractor Supply has been 39%, Costco's been 11%, and over the last 5 years, it's been 12% 5-year CAGR versus Tractor Supply at 28%. 18 years of consecutive dividend growth for Costco, 12 for Tractor Supply. Okay, if we look at them on the valuation basis, again, we're looking 3 years out at the price of earnings multiple based on earnings expectations for 3 years. Costco's at 26, Tractor Supply is at 19. Looking at forward revenue growth, Costco's at 10% growth, Tractor Supply is at 12.5. And then over the last 3 years, Tractor Supply has outgrown Costco, 14% versus 17, and then 5 years, 12% versus 13.3. Jumping down to earnings per share, right? When we talk about PE, this is the metric that they're comparing it against. 12% earnings growth forward looking for Costco versus 15 for Tractor Supply. 3-year CAGR over the last 3 years, Costco's grown at 16.7 and Tractor Supply's grown at 26. Gross margins, gross profit margin, Costco at 12%, Tractor Supply at 35%. Net income margin, 12.57% for Costco, 7.7% for Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply beats them on return on equity, return on assets, and then they're basically tied in return on total capital. Okay, let's just jump over to Morningstar to get a different opinion than mine, right? Morningstar calls Tractor Supply 21% overvalued. They give them a narrow economic moat and exemplary capital allocation. And then for Costco, they actually think that Costco is trading in a range that they consider is fairly valued. So their opinion's a little bit different than mine. They give them a wide economic moat and exemplary capital allocation. So maybe that wide economic moat is the reason that Costco deserves a premium price earnings multiple, at least in a lot of people's opinion, over Tractor Supply Co. Maybe there's more of a chance that Tractor Supply Co. gets disrupted by Lowe's or other regional or national competitors, then the potential for Costco to be disrupted. And so anyways, that's my opinion. I don't own either of these stocks. I think they're both fantastic companies. I just think from a valuation perspective, I'm more interested in Tractor Supply Co. right now, and it's been the better performer for the last 20 years. If you like this content, do me a favor and give the video a thumbs up. That really helps other people discover us. And if you want to stay updated on my portfolio and every buy and sell that I make, just hit the subscribe button and I send all those notifications out via YouTube videos.